This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And we are finally here. It is preseason, and the Knicks play tonight at 7 p.m. versus the Detroit Pistons. And we're going to go ahead and break this one down, ladies and gentlemen. We got a crew in the building. We got Andy. We got Tony. We got Eru in the building. From Die Hard Knicks podcast. And that also got to mention Knicks and Bruises podcast with Tony Crow. You know what I mean? And Steph, she'll be on the way back in, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and get this one going and break it down. So, let's get some introductions in and get it on the move. Andy, what's popping with you, man? It's been a minute. How you feeling?
Yeah, what up, Sim? What up, guys? Happy to be on as usual. It's a privilege for me to join you. Yeah, like you said, it was a while. I had some, work related stuff to do, private stuff to do. But listen, when the NBA and the Knicks are, around the corner, you gotta be back on the groove, right? So I'm here.
Yeah, no doubt. Tony, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah, yo, Black is time. Peace, Sim. International Andy. I know you was scouting out there. You don't gotta keep it a secret. We know what you was doing. Peace, Queen. Eru. Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, no doubt. Steph, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. Good to be on the panel with you guys. The gang is back. Eru is joining us today. The Knicks play. The season is upon us. I'm good.
Yeah, man, we are here. It was a long off season, Eru. A long off season. It was hard to come up with content. People making up all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, sheesh. But now we got some real content to go with. What's popping with you, Eru?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to get a response back from you because I watched the show and I'm yelling, "Oh, come on, Sam!" And I'm saying that to her, but I'm not getting a response back. So now when you say something, I'll give it like, "Oh, come on, Sam," and I can get a response.
You know
back.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess let's just start off with the injury report. Because right off the top, the Knicks got people out. Quentin Grimes, for one, he's out with a sore foot. Daquan Jeffries is out for concussion protocol. Jericho Sims and Speed McCulloch, they're both questionable. But I'm concerned about Quentin Grimes. You know what I mean? If he's supposed to be an important part of this team, he's already out. Andy, are you concerned about Quentin Grimes and his foot injury so far?
Yes, of course I'm concerned. For one, I think putting a player in a walking boot isn't caused by a sprain. It's usually caused by some kind of fracture of a bone. I hope that's not the case, and I'm not reading between the lines. I think, I hope it's got just for safety precautions and stuff like that. But, when you got, a sprained ankle, sprained, whatever, you usually don't get put in a walking boot.
Right. And
though that means that, at least for me, means that injuries are a little bit more concerning than what we think. But like Tib said, I think he mentioned in one of his interviews that the guys were working hard in the off season, and about making progress and stuff like that. You also have to have time for your body to heal. So maybe the guys went just too hard in the off season.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a big thing. Having that time to heal and rest. You know what I mean? Just to heal and rest. If you go too hard, too long, then when the season comes, naturally you're going to go a little bit harder when training camp opens up because you want to let coach know and see what exactly you've been working on, and then your chance injury. Tony, any concerns from you?
At this point, I'm less concerned. I think, contrary to what Andy's saying, I think it can be precautionary. I think we've seen it before. We've seen, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe it was Cantor in a walking boot and then playing the same game or the same day and then having a walking boot on. And
was it Cantor? I think it might have been Cantor. I think it might have been Cantor that did that.
So I mean, it could be. I think only time will tell. But first game, I'm not concerned. Another point, Tibbs doesn't typically let guys come back right off an injury. He definitely says you got to have a full practice in before you could come back.
Right.
So I think that could be it. And then I just want to say, I guess the only guy that gets around that is Derrick Rose. He mentioned that in his interview. Derrick Rose, when I'm ready, I'm ready. So
Derrick Rose basically, he did mention it in his interview, and he was like, the dude was like, "Trust me." He's like, "What you mean?" Derrick Rose is funny. He's pretty much no holds barred. He may not be real vocal, and he said he's working on that, but I can guarantee you, when you're in there one-on-one with Derrick Rose, he's probably pretty much the unadulterated truth. It just sounds like that, from the way he speaks when he's on the panel. You know what I mean? You might need to get ready for an insult if he doesn't like what you're saying or what you're doing. Steph, are you concerned that Quentin Grimes, just from his early career so far, might be injury prone? A lot of chatter going around about it right now.
A little bit. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping this is not the beginning of a Cam Reddish or Malcolm Brogdon career, right? I'm hoping. Like people were saying he was injury prone before, and it was just one injury in his rookie year. I was like, come on. Then he came up with this one. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna lay low. I ain't gonna be arguing with people now.
Right.
We'll see. I hope not.
I hope not. Ebro, and I see Tony shake his head when you mentioned Cam.
Well, Andy brought up the walking boot thing. I'm literally in a walking boot because I almost broke my pinky toe off, so I know all about that. So that's the only reason why you would have a boot, because if it was like a laceration or anything like that, or if it was like a ligament or something, they would be more serious. They would be looking to shut you down totally. But a walking boot, like I said, I know all about that. Think about walking boots too. When you walk around too much, and you tend to strain other muscles around, like calf strains and stuff. That's what I'm dealing with now. I'm dealing with Achilles stuff. So I'm really worried about that, because I mean, if it's only for a couple of days or so, it's not so big of a deal. But we're talking about preseason, 4 games and that type of thing. So I'm more concerned about him injuring something else along with, with that associated with the boot.
Yeah. And if Grimes is out and Cam plays and he's balling, what happens?
That's how he got his spot.
Yeah. Right. That's how Grimes got his spot. The only thing that I would say, and this would tell you a lot, I think, about Cam, is if you look at Tom Thibodeau, I don't know, maybe in his first season, right? And I don't know, somebody was hurt. Maybe it was Diaz. I don't remember who it was. Somebody was hurt. And Frank played. And then when that person came back, or maybe it was Knox was playing, and we thought he was playing well. Yeah, it was Knox because Obi was hurt. And then when Obi came back, Knox went to the bench, and you never seen him again. You know what I mean? And he was actually playing decent basketball. I'm not going to say great, but he was playing decent basketball. He went to the bench, and you never heard from him again. And it was Obi. That's the only thing. That right there, I think you would be able to see where Tom Thibodeau was going. If Quentin Grimes is out and then Cam is playing, and then as soon as Quentin Grimes is ready, he comes back in and takes those minutes, I think you would know where Tom Thibodeau was going at that point.
Yeah, especially if he balls out.
Yeah, for real. Go ahead, Tom.
I think another part of it is who else is playing well or not playing well, because Cam may be able to stay and Grimes still come back, and somebody else ends up falling out of position based off performance. And it also depends on the lineups in which Cam is playing in. playing with, the guys he's playing with, may not be the same type of lineups that Grimes would have been playing with had he been healthy. So, you know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of different factors. So I think there is an opportunity for Cam right now, but everybody else they still got to watch their back. You know what I mean? Like quickly per se, if he's starting off slow, he may be the guy that slides. You know what I mean? So I think there's a bunch of different angles you could look at it from.
Yeah, Quickly is one of the guys that I'm hard to see. It's hard for me to see Quickly sliding. I just feel like, he's been with Tom Thibodeau for a little while. I think, we always talk about Tom Thibodeau going on the trust factor, and I think he trusts Quickly in what he asks Quickly to do. I see Andy, grinning a little bit because I know how Andy feels about Quickly, right? But I think he trusts Quickly in what he asks Quickly to do. What do you think about that, Andy?
And real quick, it could be Fournier too, and I had to throw that in there because Andy's about to respond.
Yeah, Andy's gonna lose it if Emmanuel Quickly starts to play over Fournier.
Oh no, that's not happening soon. That's not happening soon. Quentin taking Evans' minutes or even starting role. I could see that further in the deeper in the season. I could see that, and if that would bring us more wins, I'm for it by any means. But like you said, listen, I think Quickly has that longer leash as far as Tibbs's confidence in him and stuff like that. But listen, from what we heard from Tibbs in his interview, he clearly said that Fournier is the front runner for the shooting guard position. So maybe Fournier also has that, a little bit longer leash. And we saw, last season, the only places that I saw Fournier being held back is the late game possessions and, in minutes, right? Compared to what he was playing in Orlando and when he was, comfortable with the team. Question is that going to change this season with the Knicks? Is Tibbs going to be that comfortable with Fournier to play late in the games? Or it's still going to be, first couple of minutes in the fourth quarter and, that's how the rotation goes?
I think it's going to depend on Evan Fournier's, how much Tom Thibodeau trusts Evan Fournier's defense. I think it's going to start there. But, Derrick Rose is his guy. Derrick Rose is playing in that fourth quarter, in my opinion. And Jalen Brunson is probably his guy too, or one of his new guys. So when I look at that fourth quarter rotation, my feeling is it's going to be Jalen Brunson, Derrick Rose, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle. I'm not sure about Mitch yet.
No, Hartenstein.
Sim, I got a question here, if I may. If you would be the coach, you would rather have because we clearly see that Tibbs has those substitution patterns and stuff like that. So he played Julius the first half for 12, even 14 minutes sometimes. Then he benched him and stuff like that. Question is, if he is going to do that and the fourth quarter minutes are also in that rotation scheme and stuff like that, or 3 first quarters, okay, I got the minutes sorted, minute here, minute there. But when the fourth quarter comes, it's whoever's hot and whoever's having a good game. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to rotate those guys because, that might be a thing. And actually, if I was the coach, I think you can set up a rotation for the first 3 quarters, even 3.5 quarters. But the last, the crunch time, I think you got to go who's hot and who's having a great game. I understand, you could put in a little bit, factor as the experience goes, and you can slide in a D-Rose over even a Quickly or over even a Brunson, right? If it's like a possession or two. But if they are having a perfect game, I don't see the minutes that you can just give Rose because he's more experienced or, that you have more faith in him. If those guys are hot,
no, I don't see. Yeah, I understand that. I believe that, if those guys are hot, he's going to go with the hot hand. The guy who's knocking down shots. You got to. Tony, you was going to say something? You muted. You muted.
I agree with your lineup, especially closing out the games. I just hope, I hope, because think about it, Rose is a better shooter than he is now than he was traditionally, right? Brunson is a pretty solid 3-point shooter as well, but you can also argue you taking away our better 3-point shooters in a Fournier. So I think that's another reason. Like, it's gonna depend on what we need. If we're down and we need threes, we need shooting, we may not see that lineup. If it's crunch time and it's closer, then I think now we go with the Rose and the Brunson for that decision making, the closing out the game. But if it's like we're fighting back, or you know what I mean, a possession where we need threes, it's going to be substitution. Same thing with Mitch. If we need defense, we're bringing him in. If you know what I mean, if it's on the offensive end, I would rock with Hartenstein potentially, based off his skill set and what he could do with the rest of the guys on the floor. So I think it'll be a little bit of a mix up.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, the injury report for tonight's game against the Detroit Pistons, for the New York Knicks at least, Quentin Grimes is out with a sore left foot. Daquan Jeffries, he's in concussion protocol. Jericho Sims and Zvi McCulloch both are questionable with sore groins. For the Pistons, just about all of the former New York Knicks are out. Am I right with that, Andy? Right? I think we said...
Yeah, the game time decisions. So.
Game time decisions, yeah. I think Kevin Knox is out, though.
Well, he tweeted out a picture, of the garden floor, so he's at least going to be sitting first row.
Yeah, he's
applying for a job for usher. I think he's trying to be an usher. That's his next career.
Oh man, leave Knox alone, man. Y'all keep getting on Kevin Knox. He ain't on the team no more. Let the, see if he gets any playing time with the Pistons. Probably not, but they're a young team, so he'll, this could be his
contract?
chance. Yeah.
What's his contract?
What's his contract?
Is it guaranteed? Is it a couple years?
Yeah, it's guaranteed, and I think it's 2 years. This season and next season.
So let him live. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's safe right now.
Okay. Let's, hopefully he can get it in and do some things, man. He's got some guys to play over. He's got some competition there. We'll see what he can do. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the injury report for the New York Knicks. I do want to take a look at the potential starting lineups for these two teams. I think we know the Knicks starting lineup. I'm not exactly sure about the Pistons, but for the New York Knicks, you got Jalen Brunson, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. No surprise there. And this is what I have for the Pistons. And I could be totally wrong here, but I have Jaden Ivey, point guard, Cade Cunningham at shooting guard, Amadou Diallo at small forward, and those, they could probably switch. Sadiq Bey at power forward, and Jalen Durham or Marvin Bagley at the center position. I don't know, exactly where they'll go. They got, what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Bogdanovic.
They got Bogdanovic. They got the other point guard, Killian Hayes. Right? So I don't know, I don't know. Did Amadou Diallo come off the bench last season?
Yeah.
He came off the bench last season. So it is possible that Killian Hayes could be the starting point guard, Jaden Ivey at shooting guard, and Cunningham at small forward. I think Sadiq Bey has probably solidified his spot at the power forward position. And then, it's up in the air between Durham and Bagley. But let's go with what we have on the screen and talk about these lineups and matchups and how they look to you. We'll start with Jalen Brunson and Jaden Ivey, if that's the matchup. How do you feel about, obviously Jaden Ivey, he's just getting into the league, you know what I mean? So he'll be feeling some things out, or he might be in attack mode right off top. Who knows? But how do you feel about that matchup? Eru, I'll start with you.
I enjoy the matchup. I've been looking at it like crazy. I've been playing 2K and stuff, messing around with the Knicks lineups and messing with their lineups too. So I like everything here. I like I would stick with Cunningham and Ivy like in the backcourt. That's probably
Mhm.
gonna be interchangeable for them. Diallo, I'm not sure. He's a question mark for them because I mean they do have the Bogdanovic guy, man. So I think
Yeah.
they got him over here. So I think he's probably gonna get heavy minutes. But it's interesting. They also have a raggedy coach over there, just like Tom Thibodeau. What's the coach name? Casey, Dwayne Casey.
Dwayne
Dwayne
They-
Casey.
Yeah, they're from the same school, so he's definitely going to be preaching, professionalism, hard work, defense, and that type of thing. So, I think we're basically looking at like a variant of what's going on with the Knicks. We might have a little bit more experience, but I'm just excited. I'm excited for this. We played them twice. The opening for preseason and the regular season, and home opener. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited for
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
matchup.
When you look at the Pistons, they have a lot of young guys, like the Knicks have a lot of young guys, but the Pistons seem to be in a different mindset than the Knicks, right? I think the Knicks are in more of a win now mode than the Pistons. The Pistons are, I think, in more of a talent acquisition mode, where the Knicks are more like, hey, we're trying to make our mark, get in the playoffs and make some things happen. Where the Pistons are probably like, if we make the playoffs, fine. If not, cool too. You know what I mean? But we're just rocking with these guys right now. Steph, your thoughts on Brunson and Ivy in any other matchup? We don't have to go down the line. You can know who's there and talk about the matchups. You muted, Steph.
Athletically, Ivy will have the edge, but I just think Brunson's leadership and his savvy, his ability to get into the key and to score in the mid range with his footwork. I just think that he's actually going to win the matchup. This is Ivy's, first game. You know, um, he has to get himself settled. I'm hoping. So I just think that I just think Brunson is going to win this matchup.
Yeah. The thing about Ivy, man, is he may be the kind of kid that just has that bravado that he doesn't need much time to settle in. You know what I mean? He can just come out and ball. But obviously, he's still gonna be dealing with grown man strength when he's playing in the NBA, grown man speed,
Right.
A difference in basketball IQ and all that kind of stuff. Tony, any thoughts?
Yeah, Queen kind of stole my thunder a little bit. I agree 100%. I'll take it a bit further. I hope Jalen Ivy is playing great. I hope he uses all those tools that he has, because these are the things that we're worried about with Brunson, right? Him
True.
defensively, excuse me, going against better athletes and things of that nature. So right off the bat, I'm glad he's getting this test. But on the flip side, that basketball IQ, that footwork, that veteran savvy, if you will, just knowing the league, knowing the refs, I think it should be a welcome to the NBA moment that Brunson is providing for Ivy. So I think he should win this battle. Yeah, I think he should, especially if that's the matchup. Cunningham, on the other hand, again, I wouldn't mind that matchup against Brunson too, because now you're dealing with this strength and the size, and again, all the concerns that we have.
All the concerns, right? Right.
So immediate, right off the bat, let's see what you got. You know what I
Right.
mean? Let's see if that IQ can help defensively the way it does offensively.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that 100%. We get a chance to see, some of, where some of our concerns are and how the Knicks might be able to address those concerns in this basketball game. You know what I mean? Andy, any thoughts about the lineups?
Yes, I'm just gonna add to what Steph, Tone, and you said that actually each position, I think we got more experienced players, right? So even if they don't use the savviness, the experience, the all around basketball court awareness and stuff like that, they should still let them know that this is an NBA game.
Mhm.
If someone drives by you, You got Julius Randle, under the rim, a Mitch under the rim. If it needs a hard foul just to set up a presence, let it be. I wouldn't be upset if Randall, elbowed someone, not injured, just elbowed someone just to say, listen, you guys think you're gonna do this, it ain't gonna happen. So just set up like this, because like Tony said, this is a really important game. Might be preseason and stuff like that, but we're playing a whole opener versus these same guys. So it's not like they're gonna know our tactics or stuff like that, because the scouting reports are gonna be out after the 4 preseason games, right? But some things could be, already put in place, maybe not for the whole season, but at least for the first game. So they know, listen, they're going to be playing hard. If we, drive to the hoop, there is going to be a hard foul, or it's going to be this kind of defense, that kind of defense. I think you can set a presence up in this preseason game versus the Pistons.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you guys this. Oh, go ahead, Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
I kind of have a question too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the former Knicks will have any type of influence in what Detroit does against us, knows our tendencies and things of that nature? Not to the effect that I don't think we lose the game, but do you think that can help them? Guys like Burks, who was heavy in the system. Knox, maybe not so much, but may know some of the tendencies of some of the younger guys as well.
I think it could, but maybe not in the preseason, the home opener, right? If they've told them anything about this team's tendencies, I don't think the Pistons will reveal it here, right? Or maybe you see a play or two where they say, hey, let's try this. Let's try that. But they're not going to give away too much. They'll save it for that October the 21st game.
Yeah, they're going to try to deny the principles. It's not going to be exact pass here or there that they're going to try to cut. It's going to be like deny the principle to pass this side or that side, I think. And like Sim said, in the opener, I think we realize it. So why did they, the NBA scouts don't do it? They know that Tibbs has problems adjusting in game, so they can play this game like not walk it through, but play it out. And Tibbs might be thinking, listen, these plays worked in the preseason, so I'm going to roll with the same offense. And then they're just going to break up the plays, and Tibbs is going to scramble. So they might get a win in MSG. So if I was doing Casey, I would do it that way.
Yeah. I see Sherman M said Sadiq Bey will never play power forward. I disagree. I think he played some power forward last year. He played 3 as well. I think he went back and forth between power forward and 3. He's 6'8", but he's not the size of your regular 3-man. He's the size of a power forward in the NBA. You know what I mean? He's 6'8". Julius Randle 6'8".
I will say this. I do think he has the better advantage at the 3 than at the 4. I think he becomes more of a mismatch at the 3.
He could
than the 4,
depending on who he's playing. Because like if he's playing against Julius Randle at the 4, now he can bring Julius Randle out on the perimeter because he can knock down the 3. You know what I mean? Which now Julius Randle has to defend out in space. You know what I mean? There's different ways that this team could go. And you could have Bagley at the 4 and Durham or Isaiah Stewart at the center spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's what this team brings. They have a lot of versatility, especially with Sadiq Bey. He can play 2 positions. A lot of these guys can play 2 positions. Yep. If I can answer about the stuff you were talking about with the Knicks players, basically they took all of our veterans. So they're going to be like basically have a young team as well, probably one of the youngest, if not the youngest team. So I think just in general, when they show up to different games, they'll have that veteran leadership. They're very deep with leadership. So they Corey Joseph, a couple of guys on their roster you can go to for leadership. So I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. I don't know about making the playoffs and that type of thing, but I think they're going to be very formidable team, every single night, because they're going to have that crutch behind them, those tutors behind them helping things out. That's what I think.
Yeah. And I see Ricky Juice said that Bogdanovich and Bagley will be starting. So I'm assuming Bogdanovich at the 3 position and Bagley at either the center or the power forward spot. I'm assuming it's hard to know because Saddiq Bey, I thought, played very well over his first 2 seasons in the NBA, and I'm not sure you're taking him out of the starting lineup. You know what I mean? So that's a hard one to see. I mean, I'm not concerned about who they start, really. I'm only concerned about the Knicks and their rotation and their lineups. But the Knicks got to play them, so we'll see who it is that they start. Let me ask you guys this. Any concerns, or are you watching at all any matchup between Mitchell Robinson and Jalen Durham?
I'm not
Queen,
a fan.
you want to answer that, Queen?
No, I think it'll probably be down the line a few years from now when if Durham rolls up, I'll be like, hey, we had that opportunity. But in the first game, I want to say no. But if it's like 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 blocks, I might.
Anybody else paying attention to that matchup? Simply because the Knicks could have had him or had him in their fold and then traded him.
I'm more concerned with Isaiah Stewart and his beasting down low and things of that nature than Durham. I think Durham, like Queen said, we won't know really anything till down the line. I think he's gonna have growing pains. So even if he did something tonight, I wouldn't look at it any particular way.
I want to see some kung fu fighting, man. There's too many. We have really good centers. Mitch, I Hart and Jericho. We have good centers. So, if Jaden Durant comes in there and starts doing anything like Steph was saying, or like you guys were, joking around about, I would be totally pissed off, man. There's no way that our centers should allow any opposing center to oppose their will on us like that, because we're too good and too strong defensively for that to happen. So I think I would be losing it if that was happening.
Yeah. Sherwin said, I just checked the starting lineups for tonight. Isaiah Stewart, Isaiah Livers, I don't know if it's Livers or Livers, but Saddiq Bey, Frank Jackson, and Killian Hayes will start for Detroit tonight. Does that mean that Ivy and Cunningham are out?
Wow.
So it must be
out.
Yeah, and not for nothing, I said it last night. If I were them, I would start Stewart because I think he's a more difficult matchup for Mitch because of his size and girth. And Saddiq at the 3, matching up with RJ, I think I would have done that as well if I was them. I'm not familiar with Livers. I'm not familiar with Frank Jackson. And Hayes has that experience as their lead guard, so I'm not surprised at that either.
Yeah, Frank Jackson started a lot last season when they were going through injuries and things. He did get some time.
Well, he's a Knicks killer, Tony. I don't know what you mean, bro. He killed us when he was on the Pelicans.
Yeah, Frank Jackson is a good player. He played from Duke and stuff like that. He's a really good scorer.
Yeah.
I probably got to see him. I probably got to see him to remember him. I'll know tonight, though, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, check and try to update these starting lineups so that we can get it on the screen. Before I get to mine, I want to know what are you watching for tonight, though? And I'm gonna update these lineups for us. But what are you watching for? What what do you want to see? It's preseason. What do you want to see, Steph? I'll start with you.
Sam, I don't know if we have enough time. I want to see. I want to see who's in the rotation, though. With the injuries, with Grimes being injured, it's hard to tell. If Cam is going to remain in the rotation. I want to see how Randall is playing off the ball. How much of the ball handling is Brunson really going to do? How is that going to be divvied up? I want to see the offense. We're supposed to be playing faster. Are we able to do that? Not just in transition, but in the half court in terms of our pace. I I want to see Mitch. I want to see what Obi's done, what IQ. So it's a lot that I want to see.
Yeah. There is a lot. There is a lot. Go ahead, Tone.
I'm over just focused on first the new addition. So obviously Brunson and how he's implemented into the system, how much control he takes and things of that nature. And Hartenstein. What does he bring to this? You know, we haven't seen this. We have not seen this in many, many years. So like, to me, this is gonna be like opening up a present. Just seeing if he can, and we might not see everything tonight. You know what I mean? But again, if I could see one aspect, two aspects that we haven't seen in years coming from that center position, I'm excited about that for sure. And then obviously, Killer Cam. I gotta see what Cam can do in this opportunity. Take advantage of it.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, I mean, it's Christmas for me. I just want to see basketball. I know what guys can do. We done talked about it all summer. You know what these guys can do. You know their talent and stuff and their skill sets. So I just want to see Will. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Will. You know, if I don't care if it's preseason. If you guys showed up, they laced up. I don't care if Frank Jackson's on the other squad. I don't care what Detroit is doing over there. You know, as long as the Knicks, when they show up, whoever's out there, 5 guys, 10 guys, 12 guys, that the offense, you know, everything that we're doing, that everybody is locked in playing the offense. I don't want to see different individual matchups. I want to see a cohesive team. Because if when I'm looking at it, if it gets into the point where I'm noticing individual matchups, that means that we're not playing well. You know, if the individual matchups are showing out more than the game, then it's a problem. You know, I think we'll pick on that up, you know, really quick. You know, early on that first quarter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Sim, if I can add just to what Steph said about the pace,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the factor that I'm going to key in probably on Brunson. I'm expecting him to come into the team and be that fresh blow of wind, you know, that fresh breeze, that you know, some kind of, you know, does perfectly, you know, the switch on the offense. So they move the ball, the whole pace and you know, ball movement, like you said, individual matchups in the preseason, that's not the way to go. Maybe in the playoffs, you know, if you need a bucket, cool, you can try to make an ISO play. Nowadays, you got to run the ball fast, try to get easy buckets, like Steph said, with the pace. And, you know, the factoring of a new point guard on the team, that's the thing that I'm going to try to, you know, peak in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, as always, I'm going to be looking at the body language of the players. If, you know, Randall's going to lose it in the first preseason game, and if it's going to be some bad blood, you know, stuff like that, that's what I'm always looking for. So, and I'm not hoping to see it. I'm just saying that I'm always trying to, you know, when there's a timeout, you know, I'm paying attention. I'm not, you know, going to grab a drink. I'm paying attention what they do in the timeout, because, you know, when you watch the replay on the League Pass, those timeouts are cut out, so you got to watch it live.
Listen, if Randall loses it in the first preseason game, all hell is gonna break loose.
Yeah, I'm not expecting that, Sim.
Bro.
Just to be, you know, out there, I'm not expecting it.
Me
at least not in the preseason game.
And all hell will break loose. I updated the starting lineups, and ladies and gentlemen, these lineups are according to lineups.com. So again, you see they have Killian Hayes, Frank Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah. Is it Livers or Livers?
Livers is nasty, man. I'm like liver.
I'm gonna say that's why I'm gonna say Livers.
and then Isaiah Stewart. So this is according to lineups.com. And then on their bench, they have Cade Cunningham, Marvin Bagley, Nerlens Noel, Amadou Diallo, Corey Joseph, Saban Lee. We'll see, you know, obviously we know Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel, and those guys are game time decisions.
Well, is Frank Jackson actually on the team? Because I'm looking at Basketball Reference. They don't have him on the roster.
I was going to say, I think he's not on the team.
See, I don't know. See, this is supposed to be their updated roster on lineups.com.
Let me see.
Yeah, I think he's not on the team.
Okay.
Not on the team at all.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah. I think he signed somewhere else. maybe the Pacers, someone like that, some other kind of team that
Is he
I
still
don't
a
pay
free
much
agent?
attention.
Lineups.com is slipping.
Is he a free agent still? I'm not sure if he's even signed. Or he might have just signed recently, maybe.
Yeah, just recently, I think like last week. So
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess it's hard to say.
Well, he signed with Phoenix.
He signed with Phoenix.
Exactly, with Phoenix.
Right. So
September 20th.
Sherwin, you checked out lineups.com too, and lineups.com is wrong. I'm going to go back to my original prediction.
I'm on Bleacher Report, right?
Okay.
The Detroit page, and this article was written today at 9:13. Pistons versus Knicks preview, and they have the projected starting lineup as Cade Cunningham, Ivy, Sadiq Bey at 3, Bogdanovich at 4, and Isaiah Stewart at 5. It's projected. I mean, we're not gonna really.
We're not gonna know, right?
We're not gonna really know.
Right. So who knows? Who knows? I guess we will figure it out. So who did you say was starting at point guard?
Cade
at point guard.
Ivy
at shooting guard.
Bey, small forward.
Okay.
I think Cade is bigger than Ivy, right?
He is.
Yes.
He is.
Yeah. So Fournier gonna lock him up.
He might in a judo move, right? Put him in a judo move.
And listen, I don't even know whether I should trust them because they have our projected lineup. They don't even have RG Barrett in the projected starting lineup for us. Brunson, Quickly, Fournier, Obi, and
See, yeah, you know, I don't know, man. It's hard to say.
Troll.com and see.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
So interns are running the asylum right now.
Yeah, right. That's crazy because you know it's going to be for the Knicks: Jalen Brunson, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. So I don't know what Bleacher Report is talking about.
Yeah, Tibbs wants that W, Sam. He thinks that this W in the preseason is going to count for regular season. So,
hey, listen,
that's how they approach it. Yeah,
that's how he approaches it, man. You already know that. You already know that. That's what Tibbs does. Do you expect, though? I mean, I expect that Tom Thibodeau is going to basically play these guys regular minutes. Do you have any other expectations beyond that?
Yeah. For me, that's going to be the thing. I think Tibbs doesn't, lose cohesion time, so he's going to play him like it's a regular season game. Maybe the last fourth preseason game, if we're up or if we're down, like pretty much, like 20 points, something like that, he might, use McBride and, the Farron Hunt and those guys. So they're not, just wearing jerseys to get the pay cut. So I think that's going to be the thing. But listen, from the playbook, from the pace, from everything, I think Tibbs is running this team like it's game one of the regular season.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's doing the same thing. I think he's going to run it just like it's a regular season basketball game. For me, there's no reason, the guys that are going to play in the G League, I can see them play in the G League. Yeah, I don't have any reason, to see them play right now, in my opinion. I mean, I want to get going and started with chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That,
Tom Thibodeau likes to work with tape also. So he's going to play a regular rotation. That way you'll have a tape that he could watch 4,000 or 5,000 times straight, because he ain't got nothing else to do with his life.
How do you think, Steph, I don't know if I got a chance. We talked about it a little bit last night. How do you think that touch distribution is going to go between those players?
I think RJ, Julius, and Brunson will get the majority of the touches. And I think it may vary from game to game, but I think at the end of the season, it's going to be close between those three in terms of touch distribution, usage rate. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's going to be like the tier one guys is going to be RJ and Julius. Tier two is going to be Fournier and Brunson. I think Brunson won't be needing that many touches like himself. He doesn't have like an ego like that, so he has to make a shot. I think he's going to, easily take the back seat to those two guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the ball stick. I want
Yeah,
to see the ball move. You know, that's one thing for me. If the ball is sticking, then I'm just going to be really upset all year. If that's what it's going to be. If Brunson got the ball, I want to see the ball, him get it, let it go. And then when it comes down to it, if guys want to go 1-on-1, if they can, then let them do it. But I got to see that ball flying, moving up the court first. You know, trying to get a good transition. If not, once we start running, I want to see that ball just zipping, cutting, all that stuff because we have the personnel. So there's no excuse, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know what I mean? I don't want to see the ball stuck in one spot. You know what I mean? Listen, it's going to happen from time to time. You know, that's just basketball, but it can't be something that happens regularly. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know, so that's what I'm looking to see in the preseason. I do want to get to a phone call. I had this guy on hold seemingly forever. I forgot that he was there. So my man, don't be mad at me. But caller, you're live. Tell me where you're from, please. My man,
Can
you there?
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. This is JT. I'm calling from Seattle.
JT, what's going on, man? All the way from Seattle. Appreciate the call.
Free the Sonics.
Of course. Yeah, I was at the preseason game last night. But yeah, really, what I'm trying to look for, what I'm trying to see, is just like the substitution pattern that Tibbs does, because like really in preseason they don't really close with like the typical closing lineup. So I'm just really trying to see how everyone plays together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of Hartenstein, but I really don't see how he's really taking like a rotation spot away from Cam. Like I really want to see Tibbs go small ball, putting Obi at the 5, kind of in that second unit, kind of going small with Rose and IQ. So just even playing around with that in the preseason, I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then maybe having Hartenstein be like more kind of situational or come in when Mitch is in foul trouble if we need it. But yeah, I think just kind of putting Hartenstein situational is going to open up for Cam. But that's really what I'm trying to see tonight is Tibbs substitution patterns.
What those
substitutions
substitutions.
and matching.
Right. And you know, I think because the preseason games, there's only 4 preseason games. I think you'll get a good idea of what those substitution patterns will be. You know what I mean? I think you'll get a pretty good idea of what they'll be. But what you say your name was again?
JT.
JT. Hey, JT, I appreciate your time, man. Appreciate your call and your patience.
Yeah, of course. No problem.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and give us a call. The number is 516-362-5212. All right, it is a new number. All right, so go ahead and lock that into your phones. All right, and yeah, give me a call. So I want to hear your thoughts on tonight's preseason game. Yeah, go ahead, Tone.
How can we remember that number?
516-3-NBK-212.
Oh.
Yeah, 516-3-NBK-212. I would have liked that to be in a 4-NBK-212, but I couldn't get a 4. So, you know, we got a big 3, I guess, in Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett. So we'll go with 3 for now.
This ain't Wheel of Fortune. You can't buy a 4.
Word. Let me get to another caller. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please. You there? Caller. I guess not. I guess they decided they weren't going to, they didn't want to chime in on things to watch. But give me a call, ladies and gentlemen. Any other thing you want to look forward to tonight? Let's talk about this RJ and Cam lineup, because I think Ian Begley mentioned it a little bit, that they've been working on it, or you know, they've been using it a little bit in practice. Any thoughts about that lineup and how you think it could work?
I mean, it could definitely put a battery in Cam's back. Maybe, you know, somebody to push him. And I know he shouldn't need it. I'm just saying it could be a motivating factor in just having a familiar guy, somebody who knows his tendencies, knows where he likes the ball and things of that nature. So it could help. It could definitely help in that aspect. But I just want him to focus defensively because I think the offensive thing will figure itself out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like we're in dire need of it offensively. You know what I mean? Like, take good shots, and the rest will just figure itself out. I want him to take that mindset of, all right, who's killing us, or who's the alpha on that other team? Let me guard him. Let me make his life difficult.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I
Caller,
think.
you live. Oh, I'm sorry, Steph.
No, go ahead.
Let me get to the call. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you from.
Then aka Mr. Pop College, me Rayology. How you guys
Rayology,
doing?
what's going on with you, man?
Houston.
How you doing, Queen? Yo, Black is
good.
Time.
How was
Andy, Euro, what's good?
You're ready.
I know it's been a while. I've been, way just trying to get health, under wraps and whatnot. But no, I was watching, salute to you guys, salute to the panel, salute to the chat, the whole, you guys know the vibes. I'm really excited about tonight. You were speaking with the RJ and Cam lineup, and I think for the times that I've been on Uncle Freezy's show on Glowing Stairs, I've spoken highly of Cam. You guys know how I feel about Cam. I think he offers a defensive versatility that we just, that we can, I guess, expect really, really good things from because of his ability to get into the passing lanes. He just has a versatility about him where everything that RJ can't do, Cam can. His athleticism on, in transition in the half court, ability to knock down free throws, which is obviously something we suffered, from last year. And I don't know, there's something about Cam Reddish's position on this team that modernizes this lineup in a way that we just don't really have with anyone else. And so, whether it's the ability to split the defense, again, the sort of elusiveness and flipping screens and all of that. I mean, we tend to forget that his biggest attribute is the sort of versatility wingspan that he does provide, especially in the defensive end, something that he got hurt doing last year. So again, it's, I don't have crazy expectations, but I think that RJ Cam lineup is really, really gonna bring a lot more versatility than, some may go against, with this team. So, that's just my take. Again, it's preseason. It's kind of sort of like a summer league thing. I think I'm more focused on what Tom Thibodeau does, how he does it. I'm more focused on Tom Thibodeau than anything else. And for everyone who knows me that I've been against Julius Randle, you guys are going to hear me say it here first. You need to get behind Julius Randle and support Julius Randle. See you smiling, Queen. I know we go back and forth on this, but, we just need to get behind Julius Randle and support him. And whether he's on the team or not, all I care about is us winning games, but, that becomes its own conversation. But again, thank you so much for having me. It's really good to see a lot of you guys. And, go Knicks.
Yeah, Ray, appreciate your time, man. Appreciate the call. And I agree with Ray 100%, man. I think as Knicks fans, we got to go ahead and just get behind our players. There's nothing wrong with criticizing them, when it's necessary, or or if you don't like their style of play or something that they did in the game, and that's what we're here. That's what we're here for. Obviously, we could do that, but support them, get behind them, and support them. You know what I mean?
Clean slate.
Yeah, a clean slate. Get behind them and support them. Steph, before I got to the caller, you were getting ready to say something.
Yeah, and Rayology touched on it as well in terms of what that lineup with Cam and Barrett can bring to the Knicks. Not to Cam, Tony, to the Knicks. And that is that defensive versatility, that switchability, on the wings, with both of those guys, and to have a good defensive presence, and that any one of those guys can get the ball off the rim and bring it up the court. And I think Fournier can do it as well, but it hasn't really been his role. But just that, versatility, they can switch defensively. Any one of them can bring the ball up the court. I think we'll take a hit in terms of shooting when both of them are in the game, but hopefully we could play faster, get out on the break, hopefully score some more points in transition as well.
Yeah, and I feel like with those guys in the game, because I think Cam does have the ability to facilitate a little bit, create a little bit.
Yep.
I think that can help the Knicks be a little bit more creative offensively. I think he's good at cutting to the basket, finding the open areas in the floor. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I would not be opposed to seeing Cam, when teams go zone, playing the middle, because Julius Randle last year would get confused about what to do. I don't think Cam gets confused about what to do in that situation.
And how about I think they have a good chance of like really getting to the line, that combination, those two guys on the floor together. I think our free throw attempts go up. Obviously, RJ's got to get that back in the bag and bring that percentage up. But I think we could be dangerous in that aspect where we're just getting teams in foul trouble with those two guys playing off each other.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me get to a couple of super chats, then I'll get to the caller that's on the line. You know what I mean? And feel free to call in, ladies and gentlemen, 516-362-5212. So I can get your thoughts on the game just a couple of hours before we play. CL Kenrick, thank you for the super chat. He said, let's go New York Knicks. Let's get it, JB, JR, RJ, and Mitchell Robinson. Said, what's good, MBK? This was earlier, so, what's good to you, CL? He said, Queens Court in the building. Between 3rd and 6th place this season, we are ready. I'm hoping so, man. Between third, that's, we need some special stuff to happen. We need to shock the world. You know what I mean? Again, CL Kenrick said Derrick Rose called out Randall, and Randall started laughing and gave him some dap. That was earlier in the training camp, right? When Julius Randle busted in on his press conference, Hey, if that's what I didn't know if Randall was laughing at the fact that he had his shirt off or something that Derrick Rose had said. You know what I mean? But if it is fact that, Derrick Rose called him out and Randall, just kind of, laughed and gave him some dap, maybe it means that they've had that discussion at some point in time. CL Kenrick again said the Knicks are on primetime, TNT primetime right out the gate. We cannot lose this preseason game. I mean, I'm not putting pressure on the preseason game, though, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting pressure on the preseason game. Saying we can't lose.
At least it's not an NBL team we playing.
Yeah, come on, CL.
Is Reggie calling the game tonight? Reggie Miller?
I don't know.
I mean, that will start the season off on a bad foot too. I don't want to look at him. He's always on TNT covering our games. I can't stand it, man.
Or is Jefferson coaching?
It's on MSG as well.
Yeah, it's on MSG as well.
Okay.
Right. Yep, it's on MSG as well. So you can catch it on MSG. You know what I mean? But we can't go crazy. If the Knicks lose this game, we can't go crazy. If we blow them out, we can't go crazy. It's preseason is where you start building your chemistry and those things, but you haven't really started to strategize.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
And wasn't we 4-0 last season, I think? Or in the preseason, I had a pretty good record, so you can't put a lot.
Yeah, you can't hold too much stock into it. Eddie F, man, he said, I love this panel. I want to say, I think D Rose is saying that he is not done. I hope the wheels stay on and he has something to prove. I agree. I think that D Rose is motivated for this season in a couple of ways to prove that, he can play an entire season without getting hurt. But also I think somewhere in him, the age factor is creeping in, and he has that battle within himself to prove that he can still hoop. It happens to everybody. You know what I mean? If you play ball, any sport, you start to get 33, 34 years old, you start to hear, you know what I mean, people calling you OG and all of this. You're like, hold on, I'm 34. Like, what you mean, OG? You know what I'm saying? But it starts to creep in. So now you're kind of out to prove that yo, I can still do it.
Yeah, and it's like part of me is like, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this new D Rose, this more in shape and more conscious of the candy and the sugars and the cookies. But more importantly, I just want to see him make it through the whole season. Like that's
Right.
I mean, like that's more important. So it's like a catch-22. Like I'm excited to see if he's reinventing himself again,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe they go hand in hand. Maybe this new reinventing of himself is what leads him to playing a full season, 70 plus games or whatever it is.
Right.
So but it's the long game with him more than anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Well, one thing I want to say about Rose before you get to the call is that if he needs a shirt, just go to mbk.com or go to diehardknicks.com if you need a shirt. Because I don't want to see him shirtless ever again. It's like
D Rose, we got you, man. You know what I mean? We got you. We got shirts for you.
I mean, I don't know. They might start selling the shirtless D Rose shirts like they was doing with
J.R. Smith, right?
I want 10%.
Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Yo, Sim, what up? It's Nigel from Best Eye.
Nigel, what's going on, my brother? How you feeling, man?
Yeah, what's good? I ain't seen a minute, man. Shout out to the panel, man. Eru, Tony, everybody, Queen, Andy. Yo, so like, I kind of wanted to push back only because y'all were talking about touches, right? For me, it's more so like, all right, I want to be able to see Brunson, like, Randall's calling for the ball, RJ's calling for the ball. Like, I want him to look past them and be like, nah, that's not what we're doing right now. That's not the play that we're running right now, and then kind of do what he got to do. So he has to be able to, like, man up and, like, control the situation. We never had a point guard that could, like, just pass him up because it's not what he wants to run. So that's what I want to see. Instead of more like everybody has to get their touches, I need Brunson to like look past them and do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember there was like a clip going around of like Jeremy Lin when he was playing for the Lakers, and he looked past Kobe because it wasn't a play. He wanted to shoot. So I want him to have that confidence, like, in himself, to look past them, because that's how I see we're gonna solve the Randall situation, and we're also gonna solve just like running the offense, because he has to have the cojones, you know what I mean, to be like, nah, like, we're doing this. And that's going to internally make everybody better because they're not going to ball hog and everything. And second piece for me is the rotation thing. I believe that Grimes should almost be like the sixth man. So, like, Fournier should like come out first, like, really quick, and then Grimes go in with the starters. Run, and then IQ will be with that bench. But I think Grimes should be the sixth man to get some run with the starters instead of having just him on the bench and then they come in as a full unit. So, you know what I mean? Those are my two things. And I also just want to say I missed out on the tickets for the opening, but you know what I mean? I'm gonna catch it next time, you know?
Okay. All right. No doubt about it. But now listen, Grimes ain't playing tonight. Oh, he hung up. Well, I mean, he was talking about Grimes being that six-man guy, but Grimes isn't playing tonight, so then you'd be looking at more right now for at least this game, Cam Reddish doing that. Because Grimes is out. And we'll do a quick rundown of, some of the important things that we talked about at the end of the show, so, in case you missed it, you're just joining us, you'll be able to catch that rundown. Shout out to Josh, a.k.a. Uncle Fulio. He said, Knicks preseason basketball. Hopefully he meant to put an exclamation mark instead of a period. Hopefully. But he said, let the gross calculations and overactions begin, positive or negative. Let's go Knicks. That's going to happen. There's no doubt about it. That's going to happen. One preseason game, there's definitely going to be some calculations about, what's happened in this game. You know what I mean? Any predictions for this game? do you even care about predictions for this game as far as winning or losing? Andy, I'll start with you.
Sim, I want a W. It's not the end of the world if we lose, but I want a W. I don't care if it's by 1 point, by in an overtime, whatever. I want a W. I want us to win whenever it's possible. So each game, that means each game.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I want to win. And you step on the basketball court. I want to win the game once I step on the court. Tony?
Did you say predictions or?
Yeah, predictions, or do you even care about a prediction for the game?
I mean, I'm just gonna say we win. I'm with Andy. I prefer a blowout. I prefer, these young guys, these rookies they welcome to the NBA moment, and they get another one the 21st. But I'm hoping we just click on all cylinders and start the chemistry early.
Yeah. Steph, care about a win or loss?
Nah, I don't care either way, but I want us to, play well.
Yeah. Ebro?
I'm with Tony. I want a blowout. I want to come out there and run them down, run them back to Detroit. Not playing no games, man. Listen, we're super deep, so prove it. Play 12 guys, whatever you're gonna play. But like I said, all the 12 guys, I believe in all those 12 that we can mention in that 12-man unit. So whoever he puts out there, I want them to play, and I just want them to I want to embarrass them, man. I want to annihilate the Detroit Pistons, man. Come on, because it's a precursor to that home open. I cannot wait to the home open. I'm so ready for that. But I don't want to be talking about, when we do the live thing. I don't want to be talking about, we lost the last time because we didn't do this. Hopefully, I don't want to talk. I want to say that we smacked them last time, and that's it. That's all I want to.
Listen, I'm with you. I care about a win. I always care about a win when I'm out there. I'm not going to be upset if we don't win, but I do care about a win. Especially, now I'll say this. If we play our guys like regular season minutes and we lose, that would be a little bit like, oh, man, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just, we played our guys regular season minutes and we lost. And if they play their guys regular season minutes, you know what I mean? That's going to send some people in a frenzy right there. I don't like playing teams like this. You know what I'm saying? Because they got this youthful exuberance. They don't know no better, And the Knicks are a team that, is going to be kind of thinking the game a little bit. They'll probably just go out there and just ball and just hoop. And you can get caught with a team like that. And then the fact that we played them on, October the 21st, this game could, either way that it goes, well, this game could give them confidence. It could take confidence away. It could do the same thing for the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Always an opportunity to learn, with all of that,
Yeah, no doubt about it. I guess we'll see tonight. CL Kenrick, thank you for the super chat. He said, what channel you're watching the game on, MSG or TNT? I've got to watch it on TNT because I'm in Maryland. So I got to watch it on TNT. So I'll be watching it on TNT. Let me get to the call.
TNT, because that's how I get it on my phone. On my TV.
Yeah. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Junior Acosta. I'm from Corona, Queens.
Junior, appreciate you, man.
I have a couple things to say.
Okay.
I just looking forward to the season. I just want Tom Thibodeau. He have, to me, the most depth in the NBA. He have 5 starters, 5 good players from the bench. I think he should look at the season like depending what team they play that night. For example, what I'm saying, he can always miss a match, like especially in the fourth quarter. When we come to the fourth quarter, for example, if the Knicks are playing Atlanta Hawks and we are tying the game in the fourth quarter, I want him to put the best against Atlanta. You need faster players.
I would love to see, for example, Jalen Brunson, Derrick Rose, Obi Toppin, Michelle Robinson, and R.J. Barrett in the fourth quarter. And also, I like to see keep who's hot. Last year, I see many times that Obi Toppin do many good plays, and he do one mistake, Thibodeau pull him out. Then when Julius Randle do 4 turnovers, like a turnover machine he is, 4 turnovers in 10 minutes, he keep him. So I don't like that from Tom Thibodeau. He got to stick with the player that is hot. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
All right. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Junior. Appreciate it. The only thing that I say about that, I mean, I agree. I do. I agree. But also, I think coaches know their players too. And sometimes you might have a player that's hot, but you know that spark is about to flame out. And you start to see a couple of things that they do, and you're like, all right, that spark is about to flame. Or that flame is about to smoke out, however you want to say it. And you try to jump the gun. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm just saying sometimes that's what happens, because coaches, especially if you've been around a team for a while, they know their players. But I agree for the most part. Let the guys, if they're hot, I guess you just let them go until it does flame, smoke out, and then you take them out the game. You know what I mean? Quick, for anyone who's just joining us, injury report for the New York Knicks. Quentin Grimes is out with a sore left foot. Daquan Jeffries, he's out due to concussion protocol. Jericho Sims is questionable due to a sore groin. And Svi McCulloch is questionable due to a sore groin as well. We're not exactly sure what the starting lineups are going to look like for the Detroit Pistons, but we do for the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. At least that's what we're assuming. For the Pistons, Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey, Bogdanovich, and Isaiah Stewart. But that can go any kind of way, ladies and gentlemen, any kind of way. And, some of the things that I'd like to see the Knicks do in the preseason game, things that I'm watching for, is the touch distribution. You know what I mean? Who's getting, and it's not about competition as far as who's getting the most touches, but I just feel like if those touches are evenly distributed, you're gonna have a more fluent or flowing offense. I feel like if those touches are distributed evenly. If one player is getting the ball all the time and you're waiting on a double or triple team on that player before the ball is passed out, I think the offense is going to be slow. The ball is moving. That means guys are getting touches. Guys are in rhythm. Guys are interested in playing defense, all of that good stuff. So I'm looking at the touch distribution, the pace of play in transition and in half court, offensive creativity. Want to pay attention to this RJ and Cam lineup, and defensive intensity. I'm not even looking at schemes that they're using right now. Just the intensity of the defense, the hustle, finishing the defense with a rebound, all of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? The basic stuff. We can get to the other strategizing part of it later. Jeremy Maynard, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. He said, God bless you profusely, brother.
I wish somebody would bless me that way.
Thank
profusely.
you. I appreciate you, my man. He said, this year is going to be exciting. It will be both, and we will make the playoffs, and the youngsters will develop. That'd be a great year. That'd be a great year. We make the playoffs, the young guys develop, and we prove to the world that we have something to build on. That'll be great, ladies and gentlemen. But we're gonna get ahead and get ready to rock up out of here, folks. Of course, we'll be doing a post-game show tonight. I guess, 10:30. Depends on when the game gets over. So make sure you join us on the post-game show. Ero, are you doing halftime to crunch time?
No, I'm gonna do a full game today because I got a broken foot, so I got nothing else better to do. So I'll be watching the whole game.
All right.
Doing play-by-play, depending on what I have. Play-by-play or just talking junk the whole game.
Yeah, definitely. Steph, I know you got some things doing that you probably be doing tomorrow, right? Oh, muted.
Tomorrow morning, I'm doing a post-game show in the morning, 8 a.m., which I hope to do after each Knicks game, because the post-game shows are usually late, even though this one will end around 9:30, so it won't be too bad. But I don't think you're going on to like 10:30, so it's still going to be too late.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m.
All right. Tony?
Queen, send me that link. I'm off in the morning. Hopefully, I'm up that early. Okay. Eru, send me the link at halftime because I can't. I could do that brief segment, but I can't do the whole game. And I think I'm gonna jump on a surprise show tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon. So look out for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate you, Sim, International Andy. Your Blackest Time. Chat.
Andy.
Yes, I'm happy. I'm going class because I got a couple of things to say. One, I loved how you say that this preseason game is not that important, but I bet you guys that the post game is going to be like 3-4 hours long. so it's not that important, but we're going to analyze each pass. When they passed left, it was like 22% chances that they made a shot, stuff like that. So I know that that's going to be dissected perfectly. But just to go around, I got 4 points that I wanted to mention. As Tony said before, I was off. I was doing some private stuff, and work stuff. But I also was scouting, like Tony said. And actually, always a Knick, Billy Garrett, that was playing on the Summer League squad and the Westchester Knicks, is going to come back to the Polish League for the second season straight. He's going to be playing and Trev Sopot, so that's Knicks thing that's going to be in Poland. Other things, Sim, we are going to do the third annual NBK Fantasy League, and this year I'm planning to take care of it, and I'm going to put out a video really soon with an email, so everyone that's a fan and wants to join the NBK League, I'm going to take the applications. If we need to create a second, third, fourth league, we're going to do it. So everyone is I hope it's not going to be anyone left out. So we're going to have some fun. Maybe we're going to put on some rules on those leagues. Maybe, a couple of teams advance, a couple of teams drop to the lower leagues, something like that. We're going to think about it. And Sim, because I didn't have a chance to reply to Josh's super chat about the, overreactions. And now I'm gonna shout out State, because State is starting his YouTube channel. So if you guys love State and his takes, go follow his Twitter profile and his YouTube channel. And this comes by to the overreactions, right? Because for one, if we lose, fans are gonna be mad. But if we win, State is gonna be mad that Evan Fournier took more shots than Quentin Grimes, even though Quentin Grimes didn't, wasn't able to play, bro. He's going to be mad at that. I bet you guys that. Yeah, no doubt. And Sim, last point is, after the season ended, when we had bad moods, mood swings, we were really mad at, Tibbs, Randall, the franchise, the front office and stuff like that. I remember I said that, in a couple of months, everyone that's cursing the Knicks out, mad at them and stuff like that, is going to be back on the first preseason game or the first regular season game, and we are still going to be rooting for the New York Knicks. And I believe you guys are still back here with us, so that's happy. I'm happy about that.
No doubt, back and in effect. Ladies and
gentlemen,
I just want to say,
huh? No, I said I knew Andy was scouting.
Listen, you're talking about scouting. I won that fantasy league 2 years in a row. Put some respect on my name, man. I had to make my own trophies the first year. I said I won 2 years in a row. I'm about to win it 3 times. So
okay, well, I'm gonna buy the winner the trophy this year and send it so that the winner don't have to buy their own trophy.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. Right.
Shoot. I'm surprised Ebro didn't get a belt.
You know?
I was making one, but they messed it up. I had to send it back, so I said forget it. But I was gonna come to the get together in Atlantic City with full, full belt. Yeah,
The spinner. And the spinner on it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that number, if you call 516-362-5212, I got to get used to saying the number fast. 516-362-5212. If you call that number and leave a message, I'll take that message and, use it during either a live stream or another show or whatever it is. So, yeah, call that number and leave a message, ladies and gentlemen. And, we'll use it. We'll play your voice over the air as long as you ain't saying nothing crazy. If you're saying something crazy, I'm not going to play it anyway. You know what I mean? As long as it's Knicks related, we're good. All right? So, do that, ladies and gentlemen.
Membership tab. Put that in the membership tab. It's about, the freaky messages you get, whatever.
Right. Yeah. Still Knicks fan said, I'll give you my address for the trophy. Oh, okay. Sounds like we got a challenger for you, Eru. Ron said he's going to win it.
He was in it last year.
He said he's going to win it. He said he's going to win it.
He got to be. Sim, he's got to be in the playoffs first.
Yeah.
I just want to know: is there a play-in tournament, or is it like?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's tough, Ron, because I think I didn't even pay attention to my roster, and I don't know if I made the playoffs last year, but at least the season before I made the playoffs, and I didn't even pay attention to the roster. I'm gonna pay attention this year.
You said it last year. Too.
I know I did, but this time, but I'm gonna pay attention this year.
Ebro, how long you out? Because I mean that's kind of an unfair advantage you got right now.
Oh, well, I've been out since freaking August. I'm not due to go back. Maybe like 3 more weeks. Maybe we'll see.
All right.
3 more weeks. All right.
Making sure.
Yeah, the Ebro's gonna be breaking it down. We won't stand a chance. Won't stand.
Break my other foot. Somewhere I'll be breaking it.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Catch us tonight after the game. We appreciate it. Enjoy the game. 2 hours. 2 hours. And it pops off. We out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
This is NBK. Nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.